Welcome to Bougie and Boring, a spa business podcast. I'm Amanda Luisa, a licensed skincare professional and spa owner. This podcast is all about creating a business that's both high-end and effortless. What I like to call bougie and boring, because the goal isn't chaos and overwhelm, it's simplicity and ease. I'll show you how to build a spa that runs smoothly, feels inspiring, and is so well structured, it practically runs itself. You'll learn how to create a business that's not just successful, but truly enjoyable to own. Let's get right into it. Hello, welcome back to Bougie and Boring, the spa business podcast where spa owners come to reclaim their time, their sanity, their salaries. And I want to talk to you today about something that has really been coming up a lot for not just my clients, but the people that are signing up for the discovery calls and things that we've been talking about. And that is paying yourself more and thinking that the answer is hiring. So something that I'm finding a lot, and this is something I thought too, this is exactly what I thought needed to happen in order to pay myself more. And that is, if I hire someone, they're going to generate money, and then I'm going to be able to take home more money. And that is just simply not the case. I learned it the hard way. I am teaching my clients how to avoid this mistake. And now I'd like to kind of give you a taste of the little things, those questions that you should be asking yourself so that you don't make the same mistake that I did, okay? So let's first focus on the real reason you think you need to hire. So if you're feeling stretched thin, the phone won't stop ringing, your calendar is slammed, it feels like more hands are the only answer, that might be what is coming up for you. But feeling overwhelmed does not automatically mean that it's time to expand your team. Okay? So the ask you should be asking yourself is my business actually in need of another hire, or am I just trying to solve a leadership gap with more bodies, right? What does that mean? What are the questions that you're not asking yourself? I want you to think about your current team. Now, if you don't have anyone on your team right now, then yes, it's very, very likely that you need to hire. But I'm talking more to the spa owner that already has a team. They're paying themselves maybe about $2,000 a month, and they're making about $20,000 to $25,000 in gross revenue. Okay, this is a beautiful sweet spot that I tend to get in my clients a lot, and I think it's really just because that is a milestone or it's like a turning point in your business where you have to kind of make a decision. Like, is this it? Like, are you just gonna stay where you're at, or are you going to evolve into something bigger and better? And you're making that decision on what you're going to be doing. And so a lot of the verbiage that I hear from my clients is that this year is my all or nothing year. I'm hearing things like, I'm giving it my all this year, and if I don't make it, then I'm closing my doors. I can't tell you how many times I have heard that. I would say probably from like 90% of my clients have said this, and it's understandable because this is a very tough year. Last year was hard. This year is seeming to be hard, but it doesn't need to be. And I really think that it's just at this very common milestone in business. Okay, so let's talk about the questions you should be asking yourself that you might not be. Okay, so are all of your current team members already operating at like that 80% or more capacity? And I say 80% or more because once your person, no matter what role they're in, once they are at that 80% capacity, it's really easy to fill in the gaps with little things like For an esthetician, if somebody calls on the same day and they want to get in, you can squeeze them into one of those little gaps. Or maybe you can fill in those little gaps very easily over the next week or two. Okay. And so is that person at capacity? Have you asked them, hey, do you want more hours? Because maybe that person does. Are the gaps in efficiency, communication, or expectations all filled in? Could that be tightened up? Do you have clear SOPs for every role so that you are not the bottleneck if you do make the decision to hire? So look at what you're still doing that someone else on the team could possibly take over. And this can look like going to your team member and saying, hey, I have some extra tasks on my plate that I would love to pass off to you or someone else, and I want to offer them to you first to give you the opportunity to have more hours. And this right here, this one little thing could be huge for you, because what it actually does is it removes the cost of a new hire, because you already have that person in place. You don't have to pay any extra payroll. It's not just saving you in that money that it takes to train, to hire, to build trust with that new employee. It's not just saving you in money, in time and energy and training. It's saving you in learning about that new person and like, do they have integrity? Do they are they able to embody your core values? And just because you tell someone like, these are our core values, sometimes they don't, like what you see as that core value is not necessarily what they see and what they know it to be. And so you have to grow together. But if you go to your current employee and you're like, hey, I'm needing some extra help, I'm needing some extra hands, are you wanting to take on some extra tasks? If they say yes, awesome, pass it off to them. If they say no, then you know, okay, now it is time to hire. So what you're really trying to do is pay yourself more. You want more breathing room. You want more time with your family, but the answer is not more people. It's more performance from the people that you already have. You're very likely, the person listening to this is very likely in that 200 to 250,000 a year. Your business is healthy. It's running, but it just needs that refinement and not the expansion. Okay. So that you can start paying yourself more. When the labor costs are aligned with productivity, you're getting that beautiful return on investment. They are getting paid more. You are getting paid more, and you're not throwing spaghetti at the wall, like, as they say. So when your team is generating more revenue per hour than they cost, and when you are able to step out of the service provider role and into that leadership role, you free up so much mental space to strategize, and you are able to put more money into your personal pocket, and that will create so much relief and ease for you. It's a sense of safety, right? For a lot of people, myself included, having more money. And it's really just, I say more money. I'm not saying like buco bucks here. Okay. I'm saying like you have enough to live a very comfortable life. And if you want those buco bucks, girl, let's get you those buco bucks. But the person I'm talking to right now is just barely paying the bills. And maybe you have a spouse who's like, hey, you either need to start bringing more money to the table, or you need to figure out what you're doing with a spa. You need to figure out if it's really the right thing for you, because it's not producing the kind of money that we were promised. It's not producing what we thought it would. And so because of that, you need to find a job that will do that for you. I've had those serious conversations with my husband of like, is this actually working? Did I create a really expensive hobby for myself? and having those serious conversations of like, we have kids, we need to pay for childcare because we don't live close to family, and so you have to have those serious conversations, not just in your own household, but in your business with those people. And just like you do with family, you need to do it with your team of like, hey, this needs to make sense. This needs to make sense so that we can all get paid and we can all get paid well. Okay, so when your systems and your people work without you hovering over them, you're able to work so much easier and start taking home that money that you've worked so hard to get, that is there. You just don't know like what you're missing to get you there. Another thing too, oftentimes what I'm seeing happen is that you grew really, really fast in a very short amount of time. So you had to hire really, really fast in a short amount of time. And now you're kind of steady. You're really well established. And now you're kind of at this point where you might be feeling emotionally frayed, maybe just distracted. There's a lot on your plate and you're trying to get it all done. And this can be just because you've had to go a million miles an hour in this, one direction. And now you're starting to slow down but you're like, but wait, I need to hire. That could be more of like a fear-based decision instead of an intentional one, just because, it just feels like the right step, right? You need to pay yourself more. And in the past, what got you to this point is that you would hire and then you would generate more revenue. And if you have more revenue, then therefore you should be able to pay yourself more, right? So it starts to show, right? In the client interactions, in your staff's morale. Maybe you start to dread going in. I know I have had that happen to me before. So what is that overwhelm? It's not solved by hiring. It's solved by simplifying what's going on right now, reclaiming that mindset of the owner and CEO. Okay. So you're not bad at this. Okay. You can do this. You're just maybe a little burnt out, just tired. Maybe you're just tired. Okay. But before you add another person to, exhaust you a little bit further, add some structure. Before you start investing in another salary, start investing in your own salary. Optimize your current team so that you're not spending more money on another person, okay? So oftentimes what happens, or what I'm getting is I have these extremely driven, ambitious spa owners come to me. They're like, Amanda, I am doing awesome and stellar in my gross revenue, but I'm barely paying myself, barely paying the bills. And now I'm at a breaking point where my partner is asking me to bring in more money, or I had kids and I need to be able to spend more time with my kids, but still pay myself more. How do I do this? And the answer is not hiring. It is optimizing your current team, setting goals, and hitting those goals. You have to hit the goals and start paying yourself more. You need to start putting yourself as the priority instead of your business. Now, I know that this is going to be kind of like taboo, and I'm sure if any other coaches are out there listening right now, they're like, what the heck, Amanda? This is not the right way to preach and teach. But from experience, I will say, if you are in a place where you are barely paying yourself to make ends meet or to bring in the money that you're supposed to be bringing into your family, you cannot say yes to paying someone else until you are paying yourself more. Now, there are strategic hires where you might need to not pay yourself as much, but if you cannot currently maintain your lifestyle and you make a decision to hire someone else, then you are taking away from yourself even more. And that is not what I want my clients to do. That is not what I want you to do. And you don't need to do that. You don't need to do that. And hiring is not always the answer, even though that is literally what I help people do the most, is how to make your first hire. It is not always the answer. So although that's what I recommend and what I help people do, it is not what is always necessary yet. So I hope that if you feel like you're at a crossroads right now, I would love to invite you into a conversation of just, what does life look like right now, and what do you want your life to look like in the future? Okay, so definitely reach out to me, see how I can help you, maybe with a discovery call. We can create a strategy that is going to really help you to pay yourself more within the next 90 days. I am all about 90-day goal setting and making sure that you are achieving those goals. And so we'll create that strategy together. I will walk with you every single step of the way. And I know that success is inevitable for you. So if that sounds like something you want, then please reach out to me. Let me know. I would love to help you. And until then, I'll see you on the next episode. If you found value in today's conversation, don't forget to subscribe or share with a spa owner friend. You can also leave a review on iTunes, and in the comments section, ask any question you want, and I'm so happy to answer it right here on the podcast. Ready for the next step? Schedule a free 30-minute discovery call to see how I can help you with your business. You can also head over to amandaluisaconsulting.com and grab a free resource. I've got so many good ones over there. Whether it's hiring, paying yourself more, overcoming burnout, I've got you covered with resources to help make your business bougie and boring. Peace and love, my friend. I'll talk to you soon.